Hey Aquarius, welcome to your June 2025 quick read. Let's get into it. What does the zodiac sign Aquarius need to know about June 2025? What will they experience, Spirit? June 2025. What will my Aquarius experience in the month of June? Okay, look at that light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, let's see. The Hermit gives me Virgo energy, Leo energy, potentially Gemini, or like sibling energy, close friend energy. Okay, bear with me 1 second. Let me look at this. Okay, Aquarius. So right off the bat, with the Hermit and the Two of Pentacles being in reverse, with the Hermit, you're either spending entirely too much time alone and reflecting in reverse, but it also can mean spending too much time socializing, spending too much time out there and not getting enough time to be alone and to reflect. And when we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse, that kind of reflects that message as well. We are overbooked and busy. We got too many jobs. We got too many things going. We got too many plates in the air. We got too many responsibilities. For somebody specifically, it's giving like you have too many ideas in the air, and they all kind of revolve around your work or your money. And this is no shade. Nothing's wrong with multitasking. But when you have, okay, you have an idea over here, you have a job over here, you have this over there, you have that over there, and you're not able to give at least an hour to each, or at least a mental state to each, you may find yourself feeling a little pulled thin. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, because I think for some of you, this is intentional. You're trying to you're trying to reach a goal, you're trying to, maintain a certain standard of living or whatever. Like, again, if you're working in school, obviously there's nothing you can do about that. That's going to come with the level of stress because you're trying to elevate your life. So it's only for a season, right? But if you find yourself not getting enough time to think and reflect so that you can balance these, to the best of your ability, because regardless of just the alone time, obviously you may need time to rest and recuperate for sure. The Hermit is about enlightenment, right? The Hermit is about spiritual growth and about going to go seek more information to bring back and share with others. So when he's in reverse, he's not getting enough time to do that. He's not getting enough time to figure out what he knows so that he can bring it back. Or he's just too in there, right? And I feel like for some of you that may be true too. You're so busy working and you're so busy multitasking, you're so busy juggling all the many multifaceted ways that you exist that it's getting to a point where it's taking you away from the other parts of your life that matters. But that gets broken up by this Two of Cups. We come into a new relationship. We come into a new partnership, friendship. And that kind of breaks up the monotony of everything. Maybe this relationship is already in your life, but in June it just takes on a new life of its own. This can be this can be a standing friendship. This can be a romantic relationship. Doesn't really matter. The thing about the Two of Cups is you can see that they're on different parts of the land. One's in the water, one's on the sand. So it's almost like a meeting from afar, or from different backgrounds, or just different personalities, and you come together and you realize that how much you're attracted to each other and how much you understand each other. There's a mutual respect and a mutual care that kind of it ignites quickly. Like I said, for some of you this will be new, brand spanking, and for others of you this will be something that's already in your life, but now it's developing a new way. Sometimes it can be reconciliation, but that's usually in reverse. But I'll throw that out there. You may reconcile with someone that you've been out of touch with for a while. Because this may be like distance. I get this sense of you feeling really seen and heard by someone that you didn't expect to, or someone that's at a distance, right? This feels like this may be online. Maybe you get new partners or new followers or new collaborators, and they help you refine your vision for you, okay? I'm not saying too much here, so let's clarify some more. What does Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, what are they experiencing in their career and finances in June 2025? Wow, chest came right on out. Money strategy, wise spending, long game. Okay, career, you could be in the military, leader, and you could be thinking it through. Okay, hand, manifesting money, reach goals, financial assistance. Careers, you can work in a hands-on job. You need help getting a job. Okay, earning power, building a business, sound decision. You can work in corporate, you can work in power, you can feel like you're in an unstable position. And then we have emotional spending, joint finances, being supported. Careers, you can be a counselor, a guide, having a job that you love. Okay, so a lot of you are trying to build a business. And it doesn't even really have to be a business, because sometimes, this can be a side hustle. This can be a passion. You're trying to build something that is outside of your 9 to 5. Remember earlier I mentioned school. So some of you can be in school for whatever it is, or getting a certificate or training or something of that nature. So right now you're in the strategy phase of whatever it is that you're building. You're learning the ropes, and you're trying to put it all together into something that makes you money, that earns you some money. Okay. I definitely think that it's for you. If nothing else, it's for you right now. I will say, if you have not made a move on a business or a career movement at all, it's time for you to start thinking and looking. Don't get so caught in thinking. Don't get so caught here that you never really bring the information back and do anything with it. Aquarius, because to be honest, I'm immediately getting, channeling this energy of, we have the ideas, but we're stuck in a loop, right? So we'll say, okay, we need to get a new job, and then we'll apply for the jobs, and then we'll get, discouraged for whatever reason, and then we'll stop applying, and then we'll get sad, and then in the sadness we'll realize that we need a new job, and then we apply for jobs. Or it'll be okay, I know I need to start this business, but I keep, when I start, when am I going to start it? And what should I do? And da-da-da-da. And then you get so caught in thinking that we never actually do anything. So that needs to, be fixed this month. So this month, I definitely think you're reaching some sort of goals. I think you're getting things done. I think you are trying to come up with a strategy, or you're executing a strategy. I think the biggest takeaway would be to hone in even more than what you already have. Get even more detail. Because I think, okay, this is what I'm picturing. Okay, let's say your goal in life is to be a millionaire, right? Or to make money off of your art, your music, your creativity, whatever the case may be, your invention. And you know that one of the steps is capital. You know you need money to do that. So you're working, but you never really flesh out what we do after we get the capital. You see what I'm saying? So you're not necessarily where you need to be in terms of that first step, but like completing that first step. But you need to figure out what's after step 1, because right now you're just in the loop of doing step 1, and now we need to know what step 2 is, or we need to gather the resources, or whatever the case may be, so we can get to step 2. So that's what I'm picturing for some of you. Careful about emotional spending and just buying and saying you're going to do something, but you're not necessarily at a place where you're ready to do it. I do think that you have a lot of support on whatever you're trying to do, so that's great. Especially in compared to, I say, the last few months, you may have not had a real direction, or you were just kind of, throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. Now you kind of have more of an idea. So a lot of people are getting behind that. You're making sound decisions. You're thinking ahead. Okay, just refine it a little more. And that's not even because you're doing anything wrong. It's just so that I don't want you to, in the next 6 months, we having the same discussion. You know what I mean? I want you to already be going where you're going, Aquarius, because I know you guys have been trying to move forward for some time. Okay, my love. All right, so let's move on to your love and relationships. What does Aquarius need to know about their love and relationships? What are they experiencing in their relationships around them? Ooh. Ugh. Okay, addiction, toxic attachment, drugs, alcohol, obsession. I'm mad I said that like that. Letting go, release, give up, patience. Communication, news, phone call, direct message, text message. And ghosted. Ooh. Disappear, silence, ignored, rejected. Okay. You're hard to get a hold of in June, or someone's hard to get a hold of. I think it's you, in air sign fashion. You're hard to get a hold of. There may be someone or a group of people, or several people that are trying to get a hold of you, and they're finding that hard. But we've already discussed that earlier. You're busy. You're working. You're thinking. You're stressed. You're hungry. You know what I mean. You're just you're everywhere. So it's like the phone is probably the last thing you're even worried about, and you're kind of just falling back, if for nothing else, for your own mental health. I wouldn't be surprised if you ghost a connection in general, but more so from a place of just worrying about yourself. I think you're in your own little abyss right now, so you can't really think about other relationships or developing relationships because you're focused on this. I also think that there's a toxic relationship or some toxicity in your relationship. Okay. First thing is that a few of you may be quitting an addiction. Doesn't have to be anything listed on this card, but there's something that you do consistently and you're, like slowing down on it. For others of you, you may be involved with someone who has an addiction. They specifically smoke a lot. And if you have stopped smoking and they keep smoking, that's causing some sort of friction not because you really want to control what they do, but maybe that's cutting into your funds, or maybe you see that makes them less productive and honestly kind of a nuisance. So that may become a problem as well. That's something to think about, because something about this ghosted, I know it's more supposed to be a ghost, but that smoke is getting me. I feel like we're irritated at the house by all the smoke. Also, for some of you, you've let go of a toxic relationship or a toxic attachment. I'm gonna be honest with y'all though, because y'all know me, I keep it real. I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you that you're perfect if you're not, or if I don't see it that way. What I'm saying is that for some of you too, you may be the toxic attachment. So if you're single and you out here being real bad and real toxic, and that I don't even really know what to say about that. You may just end up having to let that go. You go someone ghosts you. Maybe there's some reconciliation like I mentioned earlier, but it kind of doesn't end up in anything, more positive than what it is. Some of you may have just given up on love altogether, or given up fixing issues in certain relationships altogether. You don't feel the need to prove it. You don't feel the need to chase it. You don't feel the need to, you don't care. You have other things on your mind. Okay. So you may disappear a little bit. They may disappear from you. Okay. Because someone may feel a little rejected as well. I'm looking at this card and these two. Someone feels rejected by somebody. So be careful about obsessing. Someone may send you a message or vice versa. That's interesting to you. I don't really have a subject matter, but it feels like you may get a message that surprises you, or vice versa. Maybe you even find yourself surprised texting someone or calling someone, and for someone they don't answer. Okay, so there's new relationships potentially blossoming, but I don't know how far they go if you're more focused on this area of your life. Okay, my love. But that's all I'm seeing for you in the month of June. Let me know how it pans out in the comments, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Bye.